Hindi बोले थे हो, but over here you're speaking English like a gentleman. So what I want to know is, do you get tickled by the way your audience can't kind of place you, because here you are playing great characters and then here you are spouting philosophy.
I love it. I love that I get to do all of it. I love that they can't tell it's me. I love that I'm decent enough at the job. They're always amazed. They're like, you're not like that guy at all. I said, that dude's kidnapping and killing people. What's going on? I'm an actor, man. I do find it amazing that people find it amazing that I'm not that guy. And nobody gets me to play nice guys. I'm always doing something terrible. I'm a decent person. But yeah, I take it as a thing of pride. Sorry?
As a good actor.
Getting there. But I'm very pleased that happens. I find it funny. I find most things funny, but that is hilarious. Also because the things that most people have seen recently are all like full of really beautifully colorful Hindi gullies. They're works of art. I know the writer, works of art. But it's not something that I ever would, because I dream in English. I went to boarding school when I was 6. I didn't stand a chance. And I really wish I could read and recite and know more about Urdu poetry, but you need a teacher. That is not something I can find my way to, because also I don't like translations. So I need somebody to kind of help me with the words mean their weight. You can't just. So nobody's come around yet. Also,
My last question to you. Are you done?
I can go on forever. So cut me off asking questions.
My last question is, you say that Assam is your first book of poetry, which kind of indicates that there may be more. So going by your experience now, this big cities promoting your book, are you more confident now in writing?
I get paid to fake it, right? I'm confident all the time, inside I'm dying.
But
I said first because somebody said your new book, and I just wanted to correct it. I was like, technically this is the first.
Do you see yourself writing more books now?
If it never gets published, I'd still write every day. So if somebody wants to publish it, that doesn't change. That's for me. So if people
But
want
the books of your fans?
I'm grateful beyond belief, but they read it for them. I write it for me. It's a nice synergy. Plus, I don't own the poems once you have them, then they're yours. Because it's not what. I've always found this is true, and this is mine, so I'm not quoting you. A poem doesn't belong to you because the poem is actually not the words, it's whatever comes up in your mind or your spirit when you hear it. If it's true, there's a thought, there's a memory, there's a feeling. That's the poem. So that belongs to you. They're all beautifully evocative, and I feel terrible every time I read one of them. It's like, I can't do this at all, I quit. But yeah, this was more of like a meditation, like a practice. So that's why.
But do you think, people take simple stuff for granted also. Someone might read your 4 lines and there might be this opinion that, but I can do that. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, just do whatever you want, man.
Right.
I cannot, some guy came up
Because you have points and then,
No, some dude came up to me and was like, bro, a 10-year-old could write like you. I said, yeah. And probably better too. I'm too messed up by adulthood. He didn't know what to do with that. It's all lovely. I tend not to worry about these things anymore. I used to, but then I'm doing very well, but I will warn everyone, I swear a lot. Because they're my favorite words. If they slip out to all there are children in your house. Have I sworn yet?
no.
Yeah, where was I? How sweet.
What your favorite thing?
I lost favorite thing. Which was my favorite thing? Help me.
Just said it.
What was my favorite thing? When you get home, you get super. Tell me. At least I do. Everyone else.
Spoke about your favorite poets.
Yeah, but they're all more.
The 10-year-old kid or something.
Oh yeah, like you can write, and it's completely valid if you think so. And if you carry on. I've worked in some lovely movies. I've done terrible work. I enjoy all of it because I don't worry about because that's not the thing. It used to be, and then I'm very thankfully over all that. It's just fun to do it. You know what I mean? This is amazing. I cannot believe that I'm here. It's all bonus. It's all, and I mean, I'm so touched and worried about all of you. Really, this is what it was. No, truly, that's amazing. But I don't worry about this, and nobody should either. If it makes you happy, just do it. You know, there's always going to be people with opinions, and it's getting worse.
Oh, yes.
So who cares? We carry on.
Okay, now tell me about your process of writing. Do you write every day? Does it depend on moods?
I used to think it was a mood thing, I was waiting to be inspired, and it was all terrible. No, now I find it easier if I have a set time. And
Oh, you write every day?
No, I write every day, even if it's like there's stacks and stacks of things that will never see the light of day. But at least they're written every day. They don't have to be good. I don't worry about it. The first time they're all terrible anyway. Yeah, they're all terrible the first time. But I do it every day because Hemingway is one of my favorite authors, and he had this thing that writing is like a laborer going to work. There's no art here. He goes to work, he goes to an office, I write. So every day he would write for 4 hours, no matter what. And you know, if it worked for him, I thought I'd give it a shot. And it worked. It really did. Any writers, I find it, if you try it, it helps. And also you lose the sense of, because the muse is a very fickle thing. Like, she'll whisper and then I won't be able to remember it because I'm driving or doing something. It's just like, I saw this amazing TED talk with Elizabeth Gilbert, who, although I don't like her book, I think, but she speaks about creativity, she's wonderful. So she had this thing about, like, you know, just telling your muse, actually ordering it. I'm busy right now, come back later. That never works for me. She's like, well, hell with you then, she goes away. So I find if I sit every day, at least something will filter through. So it works for her.
Any poem request?
5.
Age 5?
Home 5.
Home 5. Okay. It's a lonely walk, that one? It's a lonely walk back to where I was always meant to be. But it's only on this road I learned lessons I didn't know I needed, found things I didn't know I had lost.
Okay, so now come to music. You have a very eclectic taste when it comes to music, right? So when you sit down, I'm very curious. Again, because poetry can lend itself to a certain music or a cadence. Yeah, tell me that. I mean, do you have music playing in the background when you're writing, and also in thinking you said it in
According to my ex-wife, I have a genuine problem. It's because I listen to music constantly. I can do everything to music, everything's better to music, so it's always playing. Silence is lovely, but Pink Floyd helps. Yes?
So, if you're on a call, will you have music playing in the background?
If I'm on a call, I tend to avoid being on calls.
But if you were on one,
The only person I speak to is my mother. Everyone else just texts.
no, what if you actually have
Then I
to
have to
call
turn it
someone?
down. Then I
And
do
you
have to
were
turn it down.
listening to really loud rock music and you didn't want to turn down the volume, what would you do?
I go to the other room. No, it's true. Like, I just let it play and just walk off somewhere else.
What if the music is playing everywhere in the house?
That sounds like heaven, child. But the other person would not understand, and for the sake of the other person, sometimes you have to give in a little bit. So I turn the music down. Ask more if you want. Don't just
Oh, yeah.
say whatever you want.
Yeah, it's not doesn't.
Oh yeah, interrupt away. It's all good. Break. I'm here to talk to you.
You were talking about Elizabeth Gilbert's TED Talk.
Yeah.
And if I remember well, she said that, you know, her creativity or whatever she creates is revealed to her. And it is not something that comes through her, but she's just an instrument. And the universe chooses her to, and she shares it because it's revealed to her. So that's what she talks about. That's what she says about creativity. So about your poetry, is it the same, or is it something that you create, or do you think it is something that is just revealed to you, and you are just an instrument?
You actually said that in your introduction, didn't you? And there's a very
But it's a correct. Say what
No, no.
No, I find it sounds very pompous to say, but ask anybody that writes, they'll tell it true. At some time, you look down the page and ask, who the hell wrote that? Like I wasn't even thinking about that. So I find auto writing really helps me. Like it really helps with music too, because then you don't have to pay attention, you just write. So sometimes, but most of the things, everything that's in here, I don't remember writing. I remember editing, but even that, the good ones I touched as little as possible. They just come out fully formed. There's like a backup operating system in my head, I think. Like I have a thought, or I'll hear a song, or a lyric, or my mother, who's the font of most of my wisdom, she'll just drop a jewel and walk away. And then I have to like ponder it for like a couple of days, and then it just pops out. So I can't take credit for anything except that I show up to work. Other than that, I take no credit.
Okay, now let's come to your teachers. He actually thanked this English kids skateboard. Tell me about how the classes were, because they must have been so marvelous to you actually thank them here and for seeding this creativity.
I had wonderful teachers. I went to a very liberal, hippie sort of school in Kodaikanal, which was the international school. It used to be much more hippie, which was nicer. And my teachers were wonderful. There was no real, they knew that you're going to use like 1% of this when you grow up. You might as well enjoy what you're, you know what I mean? It's not earth-shattering. And the English professors especially were just, who are named in the book. They really, it wasn't a chore at all. And I know, I love words since I could speak. I've always known that words are my thing. I think I magic spells. But even friends of mine that detested school would love the teachers I mentioned because they're just so much fun. If you didn't want to learn, like Mr. Menon would just read to you and chat. And you'd just be like, what's going on in your life today? And just carry on. There's nothing, no pressure to it. So the ones that loved it gravitated towards it. The ones that didn't get put off by it, which I thought was a wonderful way to teach.
What are some of the poems you remember from there?
Missing Ezekiel. A lot of Missing Ezekiel. Kamala Das, my teacher Mr. Menon, loved them. And then Wallace Stevens is another very favorite poem. If you've never read Wallace Stevens, you like English poetry, Wallace Stevens. The Rumis, obviously, but that was my world religion teacher, not the English teacher. And then the usual, the Keats, the Yeats, the Shakespeares, not the usual, they're marvelous, but the ones that everyone's supposed to read. And then Allen Ginsberg and all was given to me separately. The teacher was lovely enough to know that he will read this or she will read this, so let's just, why don't you take a look at this? It's not an assignment, just read it if you want. So the teachers are good like that.
Any good, I think I'll ask you.
Because I'm talking to her right now. When I read the poem, I'll pick up the mic. Or I'm trying to spare you my voice for a little bit. White world doesn't know what to do with your technicolor soul. To it, everything looks the same, lifeless gray. Only you can see the colors that matter to you.
Do you have some more comments? I think I'm you're my Mr. President, but 10 minutes?
You write every day and there's like a terrible stack that never comes out, never comes to the picture. So
The terrible what, sorry?
like there's like
A stack, yes.
So how do you, and we also talked about that, to come to a point where it becomes simple, you have to put it's like difficult, it's hard.
Right.
So what's the point where you decide that okay, this is simple enough and now I'm ready to put it out to the world and give it in a poem or something?
That's a great. It's never always the same. Sometimes I have to stop before I ruin it because I will tinker with it forever. Sometimes it's just I need to put out something because social media anxiety gets there too dull. So it's not, no, I can't say that I never know they're done. Because every poet I truly love is never done with their, like I've heard all of them. Leonard Cohen edits his 9 years after he used to write them. He used to like wait 9 years and then revisit it. So I don't think you're ever quite done. There's always something, because you grow up, you change, you know more things, maybe a line can change to mean a deeper thing. So I have to make myself stop. If I don't, I'll just keep moving.
I have a subject.
Yeah.
So, in this whole process, like there's one draft, there's two drafts, three drafts, four drafts. It's like always forming until you put it out there. It's like frozen, like something like that. So, what is the process through which you make it simple? Like, for example, you've written something that is crude and raw, and then you realize that it's not like simple enough. I can maybe shorten some words, or I can maybe change the format. And so, tell me about that process.
That's like asking the centipede which leg comes first. It happens quickly, I don't know. But most often, I will say this, most often, the less I think about it, in a very real sort of way, the less I put whatever I've learned in the world to attention to the phone, the better it usually is. My thing is not to simplify it, my thing is to make sure I don't complicate it. So that's more of a challenge than the simplicity. The simplicity comes not easily, but it's not very difficult if that's what you're, and it's a wonderful thing to be simple, because then you don't have to like bust out the mental thesaurus.
I have a question.
Yes?
So usually when I'm trying to play a song on the piano, if it's really complicated, then it comes out really simple.
Yeah.
So is that exactly what happens?
Sometimes. But music is more, like you're playing complicated things on the piano, that's more complicated than what I'm doing. So you're operating at a higher level of art.
If I'm trying to write a poem and I'm trying to make it simple, all this stuff is complicated, so complicated that I can't understand it myself.
That happens the other way. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Same with me. Same with me. If I try, the more I try, the less I think it works. Like when you're playing a piano, the more you think about playing it, you make mistakes. If you just flow, it just. I think with all art, I sketch, I paint, same thing. The less I worry about it, the more it just goes.
We have 5 more minutes.
Sorry?
Childhood goals. What is the happiest thing you would love to do going back to childhood?
Wow. That is an excellent but yawningly large question. I have lived a very colorful life. I could not even begin. You have to specify that for me. I don't know. Hi. Sorry.
I guess maybe it's better to stand up.
Yes. So this happens to me whenever there's a muse, like you said, it just flows out very naturally, right? It's just, you don't have to struggle with it. But if you set your mind on writing something, suppose it's a friend's birthday and you need to write something, it just does not happen. So how do you deal with the writer's block?
I make sure none of my friends ever ask me for it. No, very true. I don't deal with writer's block because I don't worry about it. I'm not worried about the writing. I'm worried about for 3 hours I'm sitting at this desk. The phone is in another room. The only thing I have is an iPod which is not connected to the internet. And that's it. So it's not a question of like, you go, I haven't written anything in 3 years really, for bits, because nothing, and you have to get over the muse thing. You are the muse, the universe is the muse. You don't need a muse, trust me. Yeah. I write Jesuits in Christianity. There's all sorts of subsects that got pushed aside, because everyone just wants to big, how do you control the most people? So it was more of an aspirational thing.
I think we've run out of time.
Coming together in your process.
I have not a clue. No, like genuine answer, I have not a clue. I studied well, I got good grades, and then the brain just does what it does. I try to get out of my way. I find the more intelligent I think I am, the more terrible everything else is. So everything's in there, the operating system is sorted, I just let things happen. Flow is my thing, flow is my religion. You're welcome.
I just like to congratulate you. And I just like to, you ready?
Huh? That's all the time. Yeah. Bye. Doctor, did I take your pen?
Show that I have other talent as well, like acting
No,
or.
none of my business.
Okay.
I just be myself. If you come up, I'm happy to see you. When you go away, I'm happy you went away.
And what if you're not recognized? As an actor,
That happens
does
more
it-
often than you think.
Does it hit your actor ego?
No. No, ego got beaten out of me a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah.
And how? I mean, can you ask?
I mean, I've been acting for 11, 12 years now. You get used to it. Because the work is what I like. You recognize me, don't recognize me, it's not my business. It'd be nice, but I know people that get recognized a lot, they can't do anything. Their life is miserable because everywhere they go, people know who they are.
And how do you manage to stay fit in the sense that, because we have always that thing that, you know, the writers are always in there. So
Most writers I know are very lean and like hungry.
Yeah.
There's very few, writing just, thinking burns more calories. So that helps.
That helps. Okay. And coming back to the Bangalore thing, you were just not very far from Bangalore
Yeah.
when you're studying. How often do you visit Bangalore?
Not very. I mean, I used to visit more when I was a kid. My uncle's family lives here. My father's brother he lives here, so they've always lived here. So I visited Bangalore with them. So school used to have some trips. I used to play sports and some inter-school competitions and stuff. But not very much now. Now I come for work. Oh, I should come more. It's a lovely city. But I now, like, if I have the time, I would rather not go to a city than Bangalore. Than I don't want to come to a city.
So what is your escape? Like, I mean,
I go surfing. I surf. I trek. So mountain, ocean. That's it. Wherever people aren't.
okay, do you have any particular places that you go
I
for?
do, but they're lovely and secret, and I will not tell a soul.
Oh, okay.
But like, you can surf anywhere there's a decent break. Goa, you can surf. Orissa, you can surf. Sri Lanka, you can surf. Nothing very complicated. I'm not very good, so I need something basic. So it's good enough.
That's the. Thank you so much.
Well, it's a
for
pleasure.